What's going on, guys? TZ Champ here. Welcome to another raid video. I haven't done a video on raid in a while. Last one I did, well, first one I did technically, was the Void series that I had started. Don't worry, guys, that series has not been canceled. I am still doing that. It just takes a very long time to progress in that game, so I've mostly been dedicating my time to just doing passively, like grinding for equipment, artifacts, things like that. And I will make a video whenever I do some serious progression. I will give an update though. I did buy more shards in the hopes of getting at least an epic Void champion, and we did. We got Inquisitor Shamil. For those of you who don't know who that is, it's this guy right here. That's the one that I got on that Void series. So I needed him because we got stuck on the campaign, or I did at least when I was trying to play it, and I needed help. And I had leveled up all of my guys to 5 stars, and they were all level 50, and they were still struggling because I didn't have any real like damage dealers, because most of the ones that I had were just too weak. So I got an epic just for the sake of having one to try and help as much as I could. And as soon as I got him, guys, I was able to pass through the campaign almost like carefree. But let's get into the real news, guys. What is going on in raid? Well, we have some of the biggest news in a long time. Bigger than Siege, because to be honest, a lot of people weren't really looking forward to Siege. This is probably the biggest news that we've had since Mythical's coming out. And that is the return of the one, I clicked the wrong thing, the one, the only Ninja. Ninja makes his grand return. You read that right. We're giving another chance to get the legendary Shadowkin champion Ninja, if you missed him the first time around. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ninja was probably one of the best champions that ever released 3 years ago. He's still incredibly strong and incredibly good. So, if you want to be able to get him, if you are a new player, you're brand new to the game, probably like less than level 20 or level 30, then you should be able to use this promo code right here, which is Ninja Returns, all capital letters. For those of you who do not know how to use promo codes, you're going to want to go over here and use promo codes. If you are on an iOS device, Apple device, you're going to have to go to the website at raid.com or whatever. Just type in raid promo codes in Google and it'll pull it up. So, for existing players, you can go into the shop and there will be a free Ninja pack in the shop. After you grab the free offer, all you have to do is just log in for 5 days and you will get Ninja for free and some other useful goodies. And that's pretty much it. Now, they're also going to be doing some special activities that you can earn perfect souls for Ninja as well to make him even stronger. So try not to miss out on that. Those perfect souls are going to be crazy good for Ninja. So I'm constantly looking out for that because I need his perfect souls, because I only have, I think, 2 stars. Is mine 2-star? Yeah, I only have a 2-star soul, and it's really strong, but it's not strong enough, guys. But what makes Ninja so powerful? Ninja is possibly the most insane DPS champion that I personally have ever had in my team, apart from maybe Rathlos, but Rathlos is so much newer. Ninja still outdamages Rathlos, by the way. Even though my Rathlos stat-wise is stronger, apart from his crit rate. I need to work on... Why is his crit rate so low? What the heck happened to his crit rate? What? I'm gonna have to fix that. I don't know what happened to his crit rate. His crit rate was not that low. So that's very freaking weird. All right. I must have moved some armor around, some artifacts, and didn't realize that I changed his crit rate that bad. Anyway, guys, so Ninja still out damages him, even though, you know, even if his crit rate was 100%, I'm pretty sure Ninja still out damages him. But he is incredibly strong because of his skills. So on his A1, attacks one enemy has a 45% booked to a 50-60% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. Also fills the turn meter by 15%. Now, his A2, which is arguably the best ability in his entire kit. Well, definitely is the best ability in his entire kit, for my opinion. And also is still probably a top 5 in the game for best abilities, maybe a, arguably it's top 10 at least, top 10 at least, but I would put it in top 5. Attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 75 booked to 100% chance at placing an HP burn debuff for 3 turns. Also places a perfect veil buff on this champion for 2 turns. When this is used against bosses, it will instantly activate any HP burn debuffs, including HP burn debuffs placed by this skill. Incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful. And his A3, which is, in my opinion, is incredibly good for Arena, is attacks all enemies, has a 75% booked to 100% chance at placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. When targeting a boss, it will only attack the boss, not all enemies, and it will ignore 50% of the target's defense. Will also decrease the cooldown of the Hellburn skill by 1 turn, turning this from a 3-turn cooldown into a 2-turn cooldown, with a 4-turn cooldown on the A3. Very, very strong, guys. Unfortunately, because it only attacks the boss and not all enemies whenever he's using his A3, that is why he has such a low rating for Spider's Den, but he is so good pretty much everywhere else, guys. I mean, come on. This guy is crazy. Next, his passive, Escalation. Increases ninja's attack by 10% up to 100%, and crit damage by 5% up to 25%. Each time a single enemy is hit by all 3 of his skills in a single round. This effect can occur multiple times against the same enemy. When fighting bosses, will increase his attack by 20% up to 100 and crit damage by 10% up to 25% instead. Very strong for clan boss, very strong for Hydra. And the recommended blessings to put on him is Brimstone, which higher levels would be much better because you have a higher chance at placing the smite, as well as once you get into 5 stars, it can be a protected smite, which is very good, very good. So hopefully I can at least get a 5-star soul in these coming up events and stuff as well. So that way I can have just an absolutely cracked out ninja. If I could get a 6-star soul, oh my goodness, guys, that would be crazy. But Plarium's never going to give away a 6-star soul for free like that. Never. So, recommended build for him. My build is a little chaotic because I have him in like 3 different sets. I personally never went for sets when I was building him. I went for stats. There is benefits for using sets though, so you might want to use sets instead. But personally, I went for stats. So the sets that he currently has is Bolster, which the most benefit he gets from this is it heals the wearer by 10% every turn. Supersonic, I only have 1 piece on him, but it gives him plus 20 resistance. Slayer, he has 2 pieces, so it gives 5 crit rate as well as 15 crit damage. Now, what stats did I target the most? Well, for starters, attack. He's an attack-based champion. He does more damage based off of his attack. Secondly, I went for accuracy because he still needs his accuracy to be pretty high in order to land these HP burns as well as these freezes and this decreased defense as well. So you need to make sure he has some pretty good accuracy. Now, next, you can either go, you need to also make sure his crit rate is 100%. Always make sure your attack type champions have 100% crit rate. Just ignore the fact that my Wrath doesn't have 100% crit rate. That actually explains a lot as to why I was missing out on damage earlier. Because I've been wondering what the heck's wrong with him and why he's only hitting for like 7 mil damage when he should be hitting for 20. Now, after you've had crit rate to 100, and his attack up pretty good as well as his accuracy, you're either going to want to go for crit damage or speed. Preferably, you're going to want both of them. You want to try and get his speed up as high as you can. My target speed was 170, but preferably you're probably going to want him to get to 200 at least, and then get his crit damage as just high as you possibly can. These were all the armors and stuff that I used. I used an accuracy chest plate just because of the stats that it had. It gave me the stats that I needed, you know, to make sure his crit rate stayed above 100%, as well as gave some pretty good attack power. Same thing for a lot of these. Some of these are actually not as good as I would like them to be. Like, for instance, this one right here is pretty bad. I would like to get my hands on another one, so hopefully I can get a better amulet soon. The ring is kind of okay. There are better options, though, as well as for the chest piece. The chest piece is okay, but there are better ones. Same thing for the gauntlets. These gauntlets are actually very bad, but hopefully I can get a good pair of gauntlets soon to replace those. And the shield is also kind of okay-ish. The helmet is pretty good. The weapon is really, really good because a triple roll into attack percentage. Very, very good. But that is pretty much the build that I have on mine. For any of you guys who might be wondering how to build him or what's the best sets and stuff to go for with him, personally, in my opinion, you could do a crit damage set, but there are better sets than that. You can do a savage set for the ignore defense. You can do a perception if you're lacking on accuracy and need some speed, but personally, I wouldn't go for that one. Kill stroke's another good one for the crit damage and speed. The instinct's pretty good if you need more speed. And it has pretty good ignore defense. I would also go for Merciless just because look at these stats that you get. I mean, you get 10% attack, 15% crit, 5% speed, 30% chance to decrease a random skill's cooldown by 1 turn on top of how his skills already have a built-in cooldown reduction on the A3, plus another 15 attack, 35% ignore defense, 5% speed, 15% crit, and another 15% chance of gaining, or I say another, but a 15% chance of granting an extra turn, which is really, really good. It's basically like a way better version of Relentless. So that's very nice. Another good one that you can do is Slayer, of course. Slayer's pretty good. However, you do miss out on like some of the stuff because this is mostly for AoEs. It works for his A3 as long as he's not fighting a boss. But personally, I would go with one of those other options as well. Another good set that you can go with is Affinity Breaker. Affinity Breaker is incredibly good. 30% crit damage with a 50% chance to change a weak hit to a critical hit. Very freaking strong against Hydra as well as Clan Boss whenever you don't have the Affinity matchup. Fatal is also a pretty good set as well, but less desirable than some of the others that I talked about before. Same thing for Bloodthirst. It's not a bad set, but it's definitely not the recommended set, in my opinion. Lethal is okay. Still, I wouldn't recommend it myself. But apart from that, that's pretty much like what I would target if I were you guys trying to build it. But yeah, apart from that, Swift Parry is not terrible for maybe like an arena build. I don't see it being a decent one for like bosses and things like that. I feel like Swift Parry, if you're trying to use him for arena to survive like maybe the nukers, and then so you can place your freezes on your A3 and then have your entire team just go in with AoE attacks maybe. But other than that, I don't see the value in that. But that is pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Just to tell you guys to go claim Ninja right now. If you haven't already, this champion is incredibly good. He has not been around for 3 years. They gave him away for free 3 years ago, and not everyone was able to get him. So, again, before, like I said, if you are a new player, use the code Ninja Returns. And if you are an existing player, go to the shop, claim the free pack. And if you're an existing player who already has him, unfortunately, we just have to suck it up because Plarium didn't think that we were worth giving anything to as a consolation prize of already having him and for playing for 3 years pretty much, because literally it's been like 3 years since he's been, you know, released. So unfortunately, that's just how it works. sad, but it's the truth. But other than that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, just have a wonderful day. Laters.